So right now we are awaiting, you see the cars lined up outside of the West Wing. We're waiting for the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, to depart the White House. He will be here for another day or so. He was welcomed earlier in a very grand procession of horses that led up to the south entrance of the White House, and a flyover that included F-35s. The president saying that we're very proud of our defense weaponry and that it's the best in the world. They talked about a deal for F-35s as well that will be sold to Saudi Arabia. The prince also increased by the hundreds of billions of dollars during this Oval Office meeting the investment that Saudi Arabia will make in the United States on everything from defense to AI. Watch.
Today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment. That will create a lot of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing, it will facilitate that, and
I like that very much.
So a lot of discussion about the Abraham Accords, about defense, but they were also asked about the issue that really had prevented a Saudi leader from visiting the White House for the past 8 years. They asked about Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist who was killed in Saudi Arabia, and it was determined under the last administration that the United States understood that the Crown Prince was aware or involved in the ordering of this assassination. The Crown Prince said that was not the case, that he did not know anything about it when he was asked about it today. Here is his response. Watch.
It's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that, and it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Terrible mistake, and it will not happen again. And with that, we bring in Bret Baier, anchor of Special Report and Fox News chief political anchor. Bret, great to have you here.
Hi,
obviously,
Martha.
this was a very, emotional at times and effusive on the part of President Trump. Welcome to Mohammed bin Salman at the White House today. What are your thoughts on what we heard?
Oh, Martha, I think a couple of things. Good afternoon. I think that the president sees this relationship as crucial. Crucial to what he wants to do in the Middle East, crucial to the Abraham Accords and sealing that with Israel, changing the face of the Middle East. And so he is doing everything he can to line all of that up. And I think you saw that in the Oval Office. The fact that they are moving forward with the sale of the F-35s is significant. There has been some pushback at the Pentagon. There's been eyebrows raised in Israel. And we don't have all the specifics yet, but the deals that they are cutting on the nuclear front, on the investment front, on the AI front, on the defense front, are massive. To go from $600 billion to $1 trillion is really a significant investment inside the U.S. And I think the president, in his defense of all things MBS, realizes that that relationship is crucial to his thought about the way forward in the Middle East.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's listen to this part on the Abraham Accords. Watch.
So definitely, we believe having a good relation with all Middle Eastern countries, it's a good thing. And we want to be part of the Abraham Accord, but we want also to be sure that we secure a clear path of two-state solution. And today we have a healthy discussion with Mr. President that we're going to work on that to be sure that we can prepare the right situation as soon as possible.
You know, it's so interesting, Bret, because all that has transpired in between the interview that you did with him in Saudi Arabia and now, including October 7th and the war that followed, he is in the same place, the Crown Prince, in terms of what it would take to enter the Abraham Accords and have an agreement that included Israel.
Yeah, I should point out, I asked all these questions, 2 years ago about Khashoggi and the 9/11 families, and he actually, he had a solid answer to each, saying we've made mistakes, and he said he feels for the 9/11 families. His answers haven't really changed that much. What has changed is the dynamic. After October 7th, that changed, but also yesterday, Martha, at the United Nations, that UN Security Council vote that the Trump administration and the ambassador there, Mike Waltz, managed to get through is significant, and it is a blueprint for a way forward to get Saudi Arabia maybe to the table on the Abraham Accords.
We'll see where it goes. Big day at the White House. Brett, thank you very much. We'll
I'll
see you
have
tonight.
Treasury Secretary tonight.
Yeah, Scott Bessent's Treasury Secretary on special report tonight. We look forward to that as well. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.